What if I told you that one of Hollywood's biggest rebels died broke, but secretly left behind a fortune worth hundreds of millions? The truth about Steve McQueen's hidden empire will blow your mind. Most people think they know the Steve McQueen story. Cool guy, fast cars, died young from cancer. Case closed, right? Wrong. What really happened after his death in 1980 is so much crazier than any movie he ever made. We're talking about hidden vaults, secret collections, and a family torn apart by money they didn't even know existed. Let me paint you a picture. When McQueen passed away, newspapers reported he died practically penniless. Cancer treatments had supposedly drained everything. His estate was valued at a measly $2 million. For a guy who was once the highest-paid actor in Hollywood, that seemed like nothing. But here's the kicker. That was just the beginning of the story. Steve McQueen didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth. Far from it. His father bailed before he could even talk. His stepfather was abusive. His mother abandoned him more times than he could count. By 14 he was stuck in a reform school called Boys Republic, learning that the only person he could count on was himself. That tough-as-nails attitude? It wasn't an act. It was survival. The Marines didn't soften him either. He spent more time in the brig than he'd care to admit, constantly butting heads with authority. But that rebellious streak that got him in trouble? It's exactly what made him a star. Hollywood had never seen anything like him. He showed up late, ignored scripts, and walked off sets whenever he felt like it. Any other actor would have been blacklisted. But McQueen? He became more valuable with every tantrum. Think about it, The Great Escape made him a legend and he barely spoke in the whole film. Those silent stares said more than pages of dialogue ever could. Then came Bullitt, where he did his own driving through the streets of San Francisco. That green Mustang became as iconic as he was. Decades later, it sold for $37 million at auction. $37 million. For a car. But here's where it gets interesting. While other stars were blowing their money on parties and mansions, McQueen was quietly building something different. He hated Hollywood parties, showed up to premieres in jeans, and avoided the spotlight like the plague. What was he doing with all that money? He was investing it in ways nobody expected. McQueen wasn't just collecting cars and motorcycles for fun. He was building a treasure trove. Over 130 rare bikes, nearly 60 vintage cars, watches, racing gear, all stored in temperature-controlled garages on remote properties. He wasn't showing off. He was stockpiling value. And get this, he had business deals that most people never knew about. A stake in Honda's motorcycle marketing, profit-sharing agreements in his films, even rights to his own image that would pay off decades later. When he died in 1980, most of this wealth was invisible. Hidden in storage units, scattered across different properties, locked away in private vaults. His family didn't even know the full extent of what he'd left behind. That's when things got really messy. McQueen's will was brutal. His kids, Chad and Terry, got the main inheritance. His ex-wife Neil Adams? Completely cut out. Not a penny. His girlfriend Barbara Minty got some personal items but nothing major. And here's the kicker. He included a clause that automatically excluded any unknown children who might come forward later. Almost like he was expecting drama. And drama there was. Multiple paternity claims surfaced. Some went to court, others were handled behind closed doors. The legal team had clearly seen this coming. McQueen's will was built like a fortress, designed to keep outsiders out and protect what he'd built. But the real bombshell came in 2006. 26 years after his death, someone opened a dusty barn in New Mexico. Inside, an absolute gold mine. Dozens of motorcycles, stacks of helmets, leather jackets, original film scripts, race gear with his name stitched inside. It had been sitting there, forgotten, for over 2 decades. The estimated value? $30 million. Just sitting in a barn. That discovery changed everything. Suddenly, people realized McQueen hadn't died broke at all. He'd been playing the long game, building wealth that would grow for decades after his death. And it's still growing today. Here's where it gets wild. McQueen's estate now makes more money every year than he ever did as an actor. Oh, licensing deals. His face sells everything from watches to whiskey. Barber jacket sales exploded after using a single photo of him wearing one of their coats. Tag Heuer brought back the Monaco watch from Le Mans and turned it into a $40 million campaign. Ford keeps releasing special edition Bullitt Mustangs, and collectors go crazy for them. The family has been smart about it too. They're not just slapping his name on anything. Every deal is carefully chosen to match his image, classic, cool, rebellious. That selectivity keeps the brand valuable. When you see Steve McQueen's name on something,